This is the Louie T Network. Hey, either you're outside or you're
in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 15 in the National Football League. Thursday night football. Arizona Cardinals on the road taking on the St. Louis Rams. Sorry about the tardiness of this. Had a very busy weekend, but nonetheless, late is still great and better than never. So, this game was very low scoring. I anticipated that. I said that in the preview for this game that I thought this game would be a low scoring affair. I thought it would be a defensive struggle because neither one of these teams score points. Frankly, you look at what the Rams have done over the past 2 weeks, look at the level of competition, and you can draw a direct correlation to the amount of points being scored in those games versus what they've done throughout the year. And you'll realize that this isn't a team that's going to light the scoreboard up week in, week out. You throw in the fact that they're playing against one of the better defenses in the league in the Arizona Cardinals, and it's family business. You had to know that the Rams weren't going to score that many points. You look at it flip side to the Cardinals, and this is a team that doesn't score a lot of points. Doesn't matter who the opponent is, whether they're playing an inferior team, whether they're playing at home, on the road, doesn't matter. They don't score a lot of points, and so you had to know this was going to be a low-scoring affair. I thought that the St. Louis Rams would do a better job of taking care of the football, taking advantage of opportunities. I said this, and I made a profound statement in my preview that whomever was able to take advantage of some plays, but most importantly, the St. Louis Rams could not turn the football over. Not even once in this game. They're not good enough as a football team. They're not good enough on the offensive side of football, and the Cardinals are good enough defensively to make them pay. They could not afford to turn the football over. And if they were going to turn it over, they were going to have to generate turnovers on their own on the other side of the football, and they weren't able to do that. So that Trey Mason fumble at the beginning of the game, that was huge because you had a 3-0 lead. You had all the momentum in the game. You fumble the football. He coughs it up. Next thing you know, Cardinals recover that football deep in Rams territory. I mean, they had to do nothing, did the Arizona Cardinals. All they had to do was, if they wanted to on first down, they could have kicked the field goal because, I mean, that's basically what this game is about, field goals. Nobody got in the end zone in this game. 6 field goals kicked, 4 by Arizona, 2 by St. Louis. There were no offensive touchdowns in this game. I thought Janoris Jenkins had a couple of opportunities to change the game. He had one opportunity for a pick six, dropped it. Had another opportunity to make a pick, wasn't able to hold on. And so I thought his inability to make a play when his team really needed him to make a play, the inability of the Rams all night long to sustain offense and make any plays, and the Arizona Cardinals' ability to play that tough, gritty defense they played all year long was the deciding factor in this game. Chandler Catanzaro, continuing his great rookie season, knocks home 4 field goals for the extent of the offense for the Cardinals. And you look at it from the Rams' point of view, you were playing such great football, you wanted to carry over that momentum, but you just couldn't get it going offensively. And I think that's where it started for you as far as not being able to get it done in this game. You knew the Cardinals were going to play that top-notch defense that they always do, and it's family business, but you needed to be able to generate something on offense, something to give your defense a reason to believe, and it just never happened, never materialized in this game. It's funny because I see a lot of Arizona Cardinals, and it's funny because me being an objective fan, I look around the league and I do it to the best of my abilities with an unbiased opinion. I look at every team for what they're worth, not what I think about them. I throw all of my personal vendettas and personal anguish out of the window, and I try to be as objective as possible. But when I look around, whether it's in my comment section, whether I'm talking to people away from my channel, the Cardinals hate is real. I mean, I had a lot of Cardinals fans say that, you know, this person is hating on us, or this team is hating on us, the national media is hating on us. It's real. Like last week, I'll give you an example. Last week, I'm watching Eagles, Seahawks. And Joe Buck just says, hey, don't know if the Cardinals are going to win another game this year. And Troy Aikman tried to put him in a box to say that he said no, they're going to have a tough time winning any more games this season. And I'm saying to myself, why would you make a statement like that? They still got 2 home games. To my recollection, they haven't lost at home all season long. Where do you get that comment from? Yeah, it's going to be tough. They got Kansas City, they got Seattle in those home games, but Kansas City is no world beater. They can beat Kansas City, and they did. They got the Rams on the road. The Rams, last time I checked, sub 500 team. Where is that coming from? So I find it odd that some of the comments made. I got a buddy of mine, my best buddy. In fact, he wants no part of the Cardinals in the postseason. He don't want those guys to make it at all. I just look at him like, really? That's how you feel? Like, what have these guys done to you to make you say something like that? Then you look around at the rest of the teams in the NFC West, and of course they're going to hate on the Cardinals because they can't stand them. They're in the same division. That's justifiable hate, but the rest of the hate going on, I don't know where it's coming from. But for me, I steer clear of all of that. I said this from the jump. This Cardinals team is going to win, I think, all of their games at home. Now, you throw this proverbial monkey wrench in the deal with Drew Stanton going down, and that one scared me half to death. I'm not a Cardinals fan, but damn it if I wasn't nervous. When he went down, I was anxious to see the replay because I didn't see anything live that told me that he wasn't going to get up and be fine. I watched the replay. I still didn't see anything. So that was always encouraging for me because I know when I see an ACL, I know when I see an hyperextension, I know when I see an Achilles, I know when I see those things. Or at least I can speculate. I'm no doctor, and you can never be sure. It could just be a sprain for all we know. But generally speaking, you know when you see an ACL, you know when you see an Achilles, it looked like neither one of those. Like when Carson went down, you knew immediately he's done. That's the ACL. You knew it. I mean, no one touched him. He was moving. All of a sudden, the knee gives out. You know when you see that. I didn't see any of that on that play. So that was a very encouraging sign for me. But still, he's injured. He gets carted off. A little nervous because if he can't go, and now you're talking to me about the rookie out of Virginia Tech, or you're talking to me about Ryan Lindley, I'm like, okay, you can go ahead and pack up the Arizona Cardinals. They're done. But to hear that it's just a sprained knee, he's week to week, you need him in week number 16 against the Seattle Seahawks at home. You have to have him. That game is for the division. You don't win that game and forget about everything you've done this season. Your season goes out of the window because if you don't win this division, you'll still get in the postseason, and you deserve to go to the postseason. You don't win that game, all of your hard work that you've put forth this season is for naught. Because you're not, I'm going to tell you this right now, after this game, I'm still not comfortable with you on the road. I've said that before. I'm going to say it again. I'm still not comfortable with you on the road. So if you've got to go on the road wild card weekend, let's just say that Seattle wins this division, Green Bay wins their division, and you've got to go on the road to, say, Detroit. That's a winnable game, but I don't see you going to Detroit and winning. I just don't. They play that same type of defense you play. They play that same caliber of defense, and they can score. So you've beaten them before, but that was at home, and it was 14-6. Who's to say they can't get you back 14-6 in Detroit? I'm not saying. I'm just saying. You don't want to go on the road. Okay, and Detroit would be a wild card, so that's a bad example. If Green Bay wins their division, let's go with a different divisional winner. Yikes! The only thing that could save you is if you play against that NFC West, because if you get in as a 5 seed, let's say you go in, you get in as a 5 seed, and you're playing Atlanta, you're playing Carolina, you're playing New Orleans, you got a shot in that game. It depends, and it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. You got a shot in that game, but you don't want to put yourself in that position. You just don't. I mean, you got to win, and so this was a big one to get this one 12-6. Wasn't pretty. It was gritty. It was a W. You got it done on the road, and look, kudos to Bruce Arians and his coaching staff. They've gotten it done all year long, despite the injuries. Who thought that when Drew Stanton went down in the third quarter that the Cardinals were going to lose this game? I did. When I saw Ryan Lindley warming up, I said, oh, hell. I started thinking back to 2012, maybe 2011? 2012, I believe it was, when you guys had about 87 quarterbacks. Brian Hoyer was one of them. Lindley was one of them. Man, I don't even want to go back there. It was bad. I mean, it was really, really bad that season. So I don't want to go back there, but all I know is you guys persevered. You've done this all season long, despite the suspensions, despite the injuries, despite not having a good percentage of your roster available in this football game, and losing your starting quarterback, who is the backup quarterback in this game, and having to play with your third string quarterback and still winning. Testament to this entire Cardinals staff, the players, Todd Bowles and his defensive unit who have gotten it done all season long, Bruce Arians to not put Ryan Lindley in a situation where he was set up to fail. Just a huge effort all the way across the board. Cardinals get it done on the road, 12-6. And that was impressive, is what it was. I mean, it wasn't the prettiest, but it was damn impressive. To do what they did on the road, hostile environment, primetime television, family business, no starting quarterback, no backup quarterback. You're on the third stringer, no Andre Ellie. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You know, Larry Fitzgerald basically out there on one leg. You still get it done. Kudos to the Arizona Cardinals. They're now 11-3 on the season. And with one more victory, and a huge one, they got to have it. They got to have it. One more. They will wrap up the NFC West, and they deserve to win this division. They've been the best team in this division all season long, and I want to see them show up best foot forward. Let's hope that Drew Stanton can give it a go in that football game, because I want their best that they have available on the field to give them the best shot to try to compete in that game. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I can't wait to see how that division is decided, because again, even if they lose that game, if Seattle doesn't take care of business the next week against St. Louis, and this is all hinging upon them taking care of business in Week 15 versus San Francisco, which right now seems like almost a guarantee, but again, nothing is guaranteed in the National Football League. But that's going off of the assumption they take care of business in Week 15. Then they would have an inside track on this division. So, hey, it's going to be a lot of fun, but you took care of business. You did what you had to do on the road against St. Louis, 12-6, get the victory and go to 11-3 on the season. For the Rams, tough break. Again, you're just not that good of a football team, especially at the offensive side of things. You need a quarterback. I mean, Sean Hill is a nice story. He's a nice guy. He's a journeyman, veteran backup that you trust. Again, Sean Hill, you put him on the field for 6 games, he'll go 3-3, he'll go 4-2. Hell, depending on the schedule, he'll go 5-1. He's a really savvy, veteran backup quarterback that you want on your football team. But in terms of starting, this is what you get. Simple as that. So you go down in this game, you drop to 6-8 on the season. Now you got to win out just to get to 500. We'll see if you're able to accomplish that. I don't see it happening, because you got to go to Seattle week number 17, a place where you struggle. You always play them tough there, just like you beat them earlier in the season. You always play them tough in Seattle. Just don't see you going with Sean Hill at quarterback. Don't see you going over there and getting a win. And so you're probably going to finish sub 500 once again in St. Louis. That's going to do it for the Thursday night breakdown. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me, as I've got plenty more games to break down in week number 15, the National Football League. See you in a bit.
In the lab.